true for you.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Manchester United nil. Scouse Bastards nil. United go to the shitbox. Go to Anfield. And they get a point. It wasn't a perfect result by any means. United played pretty average on the ball. Much better off the ball. Defensively, I thought we defended quite well, especially that back four. I think tactically we got it right. We sat back and actually absorbed pressure for once. But Liverpool had most of the chances, most of the threat. But United, we did have some chances to win the game, even in the second half. If we had a little bit more quality, on the pitch, on the bench. But either way, Liverpool fans are crying left, right, and center. Nothing makes me happier than like Van Dijk bitching, Klopp bitching. United, hey, I'll take it. A point, on to the next one.
A huge point in a real hostile environment. You saw it from minute one. It was loud. They're singing that song, sir, corners after corner. And then it kind of died down. They really didn't have the teeth in the final third. They had a lot of the ball. They created more XG than us, obviously. And there was some bad football on display by United individuals. For me, I called the draw. Everyone calling the 5-0. I think you said that as well.
I did.
Everyone saying they're going to batter us. I was like, look, I think we're going to go there and outperform. I think when you have that mental, it's going to be easy. It usually isn't. Yeah. But I thought we played better, honestly. I thought there were holes in our team. I thought Amrabat looked like horrid. I think there were levels to this game. He is not on it. I thought that adjustment should have been made sooner by the manager, because McTominay in that spot probably would have been a little better. And going forward, Hannibal could have been more dangerous at number 10. I thought there were some tweaks we could have made to this 11 to play better and maybe even hit them on the break. Marcus Rashford on the bench. He scored against the Scouse Bastards before. He knows what that's like, but I guess it's a feud for Marcus. For me, could have been better. The passing was scratchy, real scratchy from United. A lot of bad turnovers. Look, they're a better team. We frustrated them. The manager got it right tactically. It's a results-based game, and a 0-0 draw in their house when they're top of the table and they need it is chef's kiss. Screw the Liverpool fans. They all been texting me all week. Excited for this one, and I text them back. Sure, you're winning the league with that team. We played horrible, and you couldn't even score.
I mean, that was the biggest takeaway from this. We have a lot of injuries, and that also hasn't mattered. Like sometimes we've had, decent 11, but we haven't shown any fight. Today we showed some fight, and there were players that look completely off the pace. Amrabat was very poor today, but I thought everyone else was pretty good. Especially Varane was terrific. Shaw was excellent. Delo had its moments. I think he was unfairly sent off at the end of the second half. But by and large, the ref had some errors, but he was pretty good, all things considered, considering how bad he could have been. So United get a big point. I think most importantly, they frustrated Liverpool's side, because anytime, like you said, anytime a team thinks that they're going to just roll, and then a team shows up to kind of hold the line, a little bit of pride back in the game. But now it's all about the next 3 games this month. It's about West Ham, Villa, Forest. Those games are huge for us to kind of stay with our noses near the top 4, and hopefully just continue to build some momentum before we get a whole wave of players back. We only have 2 games in January. Great opportunity for us to get some practice in, maybe go on a warm weather training somewhere outside of Manchester. But either way, an important point. I think tactically the manager finally switched it up, and it worked out. But the real frustrating thing today was like, damn, this Liverpool side is not that good. This Liverpool side is not that good. If we played well, we could have beat them. And if we had a stronger 11, we could have beat them. But that was the most frustrating. It was like, this Liverpool team ain't shit, bro.
No, I don't think they really are. The only point I'm going to make is they looked better organized and they looked way more fit than United. And apparently we have these tough training sessions. They look like they're bought in. The difference between them is maybe they're just like whinging less and just putting their heads down, because they got these random guys I don't even know, and they're out there performing in that Klopp system and looking sharp. They just didn't have the teeth in attack. Gapco, glad we didn't sign him. It's really Mo Salah and Arnold, and Nunez is an absolute joke. So again, glad we didn't sign him, but I guess we got Anthony. who looked like a joke. But look, sir, quick PSA for the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? We're for fans, by fans, giving you some North Jersey flavor, chicken cutlet and all.
Get me a chicken cutlet, sir. I'm dying for a chicken cutlet sandwich.
Big shout out to our boy Tommy DeVito, New York Giants. You got to give them a shout
today,
out. I know
they
lost.
They took the L. Somebody took an L today.
Too many chicken cutlets before kickoff. But regardless, we're giving that American flavor to our favorite team, Manchester United. Has been that way for over 20 years. You want to support us and the fan take. We give you the bias Muppet take from the couch. You want to support us, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Behind the scenes episode every single month. Different tiers, lots of benefits. Please check it out. Support us. You guys are the real MVPs. Check out our store, americadevils.store. Stickers, scarves, shirts, you name it. Support this team. It's tough times, but you know what? We will never die, sir. That is the motto. Also, check out americadevils.com. The blog is ripping. Great fan content. And if you're interested in writing for the blog, email us, americadevils@gmail.com. Sir, tell about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews or 5-star reviews of the American Devils podcast, wherever you listen. It's a great way to support the pod. Helps us get found organically. And even better, we're giving away free ARD design scarves. The elves are working overtime. Just send out a couple. All you have to do to get a free scarf is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review with your mailing address to americadevils@gmail.com. And I will personally pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf sent right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great review from Floptimus Prime. Best MUFC podcast, quickly becoming my favorite Red Devils pod out there. Love all the analysis and great banter. Always getting content out as quick as possible. Appreciate you, Floptimus. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out, writing those reviews. Sir, let's get into it.
Sir, I'm actually missing a holiday cookie decorating party.
Missing is the key word.
To do this wonderful pod with you. We're talking Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0 at the shitbox, a.k.a. Anfield.
It was quiet, by the way. They started hot, but it was quiet.
They got nothing. Onana in net. Luke Shaw, Varane, Evans, Delo backline. Amrabat, Mainu, McTominay, Garnacho, Hoyland, Antony. How are you feeling about that 11?
I mean, hey, we're an injury-ravaged team. There's not a lot of huge surprises here. I think the double pivot, what you expect, Rashford back on the bench after his illness. But otherwise, I think this is basically what you expect to see. Amrabat and Mainu, big job to be had. But shout out to Varane and Evans and Shaw. They were the standouts, even Delo at times. But I wasn't shocked by this 11. What did you think when you saw it?
Rashford should be in my opinion, in this game. It's a big game against a big opponent. Get him in behind. Hoyland not offering a lot up front, unfortunately. He's not getting service. But when you're trying to do the smash and grab, you're going to pack it in. You need that pace, and I think you have Marcus up there. Could have made the difference on a few of these runs. In behind McTominay, he's got to be in the 2. I don't like Amrabat. He's off it from a pace perspective. He looked like he was seeing ghosts out there.
He had a bad game.
I wanted him to work out, but that's why you don't buy players off World Cup form. I always say that. International tournaments, they're a different pace, they're a different style. He looked lights out at the World Cup. You put him at Anfield and with Alexander Arnold running by him. He's looking like me out there.
You've seen shadows, bro. He was seeing double.
And so, I just kind of felt, again, are we being hamstrung by a feud with the manager and Rashford? I don't know, sir. Let's get into the first half. Liverpool dominant from the start, corner after corner. 10th minute, only chance of the half. Garnacho blasted over. This one, half a chance, really. 16th minute, Salah goes down after Onana parries a shot wide. 28th minute, Onana with a nice save from a powerful Van Dijk header from a corner. Look, Onana staying strong in net. That's what we need. He might not make it look easy, but he's effective. 37th, Konate with a decent chance at the far post. Look, the field was tilted. They had 70% of the ball knocking on the door, but not a lot on target from Liverpool, which was nice to see.
Yeah, I think the manager, he's got a lot wrong this season. A lot of criticism to be had towards Erik ten Hag. But one thing he did right today was he finally paid respect both to the venue and to the opponent, and he packed it in a way that we needed to in order to get any type of result. We were in this game throughout all 90 minutes, could have won it. deserved point. But I think the back four held really well. I think Onana played quite well. A little sloppy at times. He's not elegant. He's not an elegant shot keeper like our boy De Gea was. He was unbelievably elegant.
And not convincing play out the back either.
No, but he had some good passes today. He wasn't convincing at time. He almost gave me a heart attack a few times, but he found Garnacho on the wing for a really good chance. So some of his distribution was a little bit better, but he had a decent game. I think if he didn't have a decent game, we wouldn't have had a 0-0 result.
I think he had to make the change at halftime with Amrabat. It looked like we were going to get scored on.
Yeah.
That's the issue that I saw. That was standing out. Also, McTominay and Højlund was not getting involved, not giving bad touches, bad pass. All we saw from the attack was bad giveaway, pass the ball out of bounds, Antony giving it away. Like this whole thing with the attack was we needed to freshen that up. Palestri coming in for Antony, moving McTominay in the 2, getting Hannibal at the 10, something. We had to freshen this up because we were doing nothing going forward. 55th minute, we did get a chance, one-on-one. This one fell to Garnacho, but he's caught by Trent. Again, we have seen him break one-on-one a few times. Maybe Rashford could do better there. I'm not sure. 64th, good save from Onana. 66th minute, Arnold goes just wide from a driven shot. This one was really close. Opened up nicely for him and just missed. 68th, great chance for Højlund. Found by McSauce running in, but he shot it right at Allison. It was a tight angle. He didn't have a lot to do there, but it was a good shot for him. 71st sub, Rashford on for Garnacho. I thought the subs coming in here in the 71st, little late. I like to see the mid-60s make the midfield change. That didn't come until the 82nd. Double sub Hannibal and Palestri for Antony and Mainu. And again, he took off Kobe, who I think had the better game, leaving on Amrabat. Again, he has his guys. He leaves them out there. Antony going to the 82nd minute, but literally turning the ball over, looking horrid, as well as Amrabat getting left to the end of the game. Those guys are objectively not playing well. I just felt like, what is the point?
I mean, the subs definitely should have come earlier. I agree with you 100%. Let's start where? Mainu, 18-year-old, coming back from a knee injury. I think you don't want to, maybe you're worried about risking him. Amrabat should have come off for Hannibal. I definitely agree there. I think Amrabat was our worst player on the pitch. Anthony, he did well off the ball. On the ball, it's the same old Anthony, so I don't know what to expect. But I think most importantly, these subs should have come earlier. I think you could have even had a halftime sub. But I think United was much better in the second half. I mean, Liverpool had just much of the ball, but they had much better chances in the first half and really kind of they were turning the screw. We seemed like a little bit more calm on the ball in the sense that, like, hey, man, we can play against this team. And two of our best chances, the Garnacho one, the Højlund one, the Garnacho one could have been a goal.
You'd like to see Rashford have one of those. That's
right.
what I'm trying to say, is that he scores those goals one-on-one. He hits
Not
it on
this year.
the break. I've seen him do it a lot in his career at United. That is kind of his trademark goal. And when you're trying to play counter away at Anfield to hit him for the smash and grab, there is no better player on our roster than at scoring that goal than Marcus Rashford. And the opportunity fell to a young Garnacho and Højlund. And I'd like to see Rashford on one of those. And arguably, if you make this change earlier, maybe you create another opportunity to. 20 minutes is nothing for Marcus out there when you know it's not working. It's like, I just felt there were changes that, like, he got it right from a tactical perspective, but there were personnel changes that were like dying to be made. That were like if you put Palestri on for Antony, that's like you're not losing anything, in my opinion. In fact, Antony giving the ball away in our own third back to Liverpool multiple times, kicking it out of bounds, like it was some bad play from United, and that's why I want to highlight. Like it was painfully obvious some of these players just weren't on at the day. 92nd, Rashford drives a good ball across the 5-yard line. Højlund can't get there. Again, making an impact. And 94th, Delot sent off for dissent. This one was weird. I'm sure we get a lot of socials. Michael Oliver had a good game. I think he kept it together. Kind of unraveled there at the end. But I've seen it refed worse. In recent years especially. Like United used to always get the friendly refs back in the day under Fergie. I don't know what he did to tilt that our way. And then after he's gone, we've gotten horrible run of officiating in Europe and the league. But this was not Mike Oliver's worst game. Usually it's much more anti-United than this.
Yeah, that's why I'm not making a big deal of the low sent-off. Right? It was 2 yellows, so only misses a game. I rate ADWB more, so hopefully he'll get a run out. The one that was annoying was like he got 2 yellows in a row for dissent, which I didn't know you could do. And at the same time, What's his name? That ugly fucker, Nunez. He had something even more egregious, like elbowed Evans in the chest and had to send and kick the ball away. So once again, I just want to see consistency in the league, right? If the low is sent off, then surely Nunez deserved to be sent off. But either way, like you said, he could have had a howler of a game, and he had, by and large, a good game, that the ref that is. So, I'm not whining at all because there was a handball. I don't think it should have been a handball, but you know what? 2 months ago, it would have been a handball in the league. It's like all of a sudden they changed the rules in real time because they had some bad calls and some heat coming from Sky Sports. But either way, that's it, man. 0-0. Good point one for United, but what could have been as well? I think 3 points were there to be had. I think the subs, if they came earlier, I think United would have had a better chance to win this game because they were there to be taken. It's like Liverpool is not that good, but also United's not playing that good. So there you go.
Looking at the XG from at the XG Philosophy on Twitter, Scouse Bastards 2.68 to Manchester United's 0.7. I'll take the 0.7 away. It was a tough fixture. 34 shots for the Scouse Bastards, 6 for United, 8 on target, 1 on target for United. Not good enough, in my opinion. Especially not good enough not to make those changes in attack. 69% of possession to the Scouse Bastards, 31% to Manchester United. Look, it's going away to a informed Liverpool side. The pressure was on them. They had the win. They had the win big. They didn't, and they looked bad against a depleted United squad with key players out. And we didn't play that well. Ultimately, we defended for our lives, but when Burnley gets a draw away, it's are you celebrating that? We are playing great football. It's no, we're packing it in. We're defending for our lives. We get the draw. The attackers were scrappy. The passing was scrappy. It was sloppy. I mean, it's just a bad look for United, honestly. We got away with it. Result should be celebrated by us. Don't get it twisted. But, man, when I called the draw, I thought we would play well. I thought we'd score. I thought we'd be more effective in the midfield and passing. It's just that we were just under too much pressure from the Scouse Bastards.
I mean, I think that maybe that speaks to United stepping up recently, is that we didn't play as well as we could have and we still got a draw. Obviously, they dominated possession. They dominated the chances. But certain things we did well. I thought we defended well. I thought we did basically everything else really poorly because every time we got the ball, we'd give it away to them. When we did have a chance, we didn't take advantage of it. I just wanted to give one shot. There's a reason that they've only won one title in 33 years, bro. They're like a Atletico Madrid of England. They're dirty as fuck. One of the dirtiest teams I've ever seen. At the same time, you nudge them and they fucking fall down like they got shot in the back. So fuck the Scousers. Hate them. Hate the fans. Hate the manager. Hate every player they have. And I'm just glad that we got a point.
Look, strong analysis from Alex.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
We don't like them.
They're not likable. They're not likable. They've been shoved down our throats for a decade by NBC Sports.
I've seen more effective performances that get draws, is what I'm trying to say. So, does this performance turn our season around? I don't think so. I think this is sort of I think the result speaks more than the performance. I saw Anthony couldn't put one together. I saw Hoyland struggling, backing up to defenders, poor first touch. Same with Garnacho, looked off. McTominay can't pass it forward. He's playing 10. The only thing he can do is bomb in the box. They're leaving holes for Amrabat, who's getting blown by. We're not changing that. We haven't changed it in Turkey. So these are some things about this team that get me wondering. And when I see this happening and we're getting away with it spectacularly here, is it going to create momentum? The result will, but kind of what I saw says we need to get healthy. We need the Ericssons. We need Casemiro. We need Martinez. We need all these players getting back as fast as possible. Mason Mount, remember the name.
100%, sir. You're right. It's there's a lot we could do a lot better. A lot of things left to be desired. I think now reflecting on it, the only players that really played well were the back six. It was Onana, the back four, and Kobe. Everybody else could have played a lot better, and I think if they did, and if we had different players on the pitch, as in Casemiro starts, Mount starts, maybe Rashi's in better form, we win this game. And, maybe that's easy for us to say.
They're also young. The player, Hoyland, you can't write him off, but
he's
it's
20. And he's playing against Van Dijk, to be fair, who is, apparently
No, but
God's
you
gift to
don't like
humanity.
Anthony taking people on
No, that
in
was
isolated areas where it's not going to benefit him and losing the ball and like just this whole like we're just so disjointed. The whole thing going forward was tough to watch, but you love to see the result, and what it does is it takes the Scouse Bastards off the top of the table, which is basically what we want to be celebrating. They're second with 38. The Gunners 39 points. Villa with 38 tied on points with
Christ, Villa.
Shitty Drew. They're down to 34.
Drew Palace.
Penalty, last minute penalty. Tottenham down to 33. Newcastle with 29. Manchester United with 28 in that West Ham game this next weekend. They're on 27. That's going to be tight. Brighton did lose to Arsenal, so they're on 26. And Chelsea, top 10 Chelsea with 22. It's an interesting year.
Yeah.
This is what the league used to look like, and it's during this period that you're going to see somebody gap and create some space in the table. The Scouse Bastards, are they pretenders? Villa, are they contenders? City, are they going to turn around? We're going to find out by the end of January. A lot of games coming thick and fast in the holiday session, sir. But what do we know? Let's check in with the main man, the manager, Eric Ten Hag.
All complaints about unrest in the dressing room, like behind or not. Is that the sort of performance that proves that they're in this for the fight?
I told you.
Samuel.
How important is Rafa? I understand the performance of not played so much recently, but it seemed like his class really showed today.
Oh, absolutely. But we know where he's capable of. And he had many such performances. And yeah, I think he did very well as the whole team, and in the partnership with Johnny Evans, and both they're leading the team from the back. I think also Andre Onana played a big part in it. But yeah, I can mention all the players because it was really a team, very disciplined. And so if we should have taken more often after ball regains 3-4 passes in, where we are capable of, and then we could have even hurt the opponent more. But all over, in the end, you have to conclude we had the best chances from open play by Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho.
It seemed like quite well, but it's disappointing in the manner of Diogo's red card at the end. It seemed quite petty of the referee to give 2 yellow cards. Do you think that was harsh?
I leave the judgment to you.
Laurie.
He leaves the judgment to us. Look, it's a big result for United. I think Delo got hard done there. You know what? It's like you got to say, Evans and Varane, you get a clean sheet in Anfield. You got to be celebrating that a little bit. It's just disappointing to see like the big money players that we need to work out, maybe from an attacking perspective, not functioning. So while there were extraordinary bright spots with maybe a ragtag group of players, you got to be looking at 80 million for Anthony and being a little frustrated, right?
No, 100%. Especially like there's a couple opportunities we had the ball, and like you said, he went down to the corner, got isolated, and all of a sudden they get the ball back. And it was so hard to hold on to the ball, so hard to get the ball because they made us work so hard for it. It could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse. And I think United leaves with a point and a clean sheet. That's a decent performance, all things considered, given that everybody in front of Kobe didn't play very well.
You have to look at the data.
Sir, looking at the data and the tactical side of things, the average defensive action height for Manchester United was 34.8, meaning we were packing it in. And if you look at our formation, the average position from minute 1 to 73, United were in the 4-4-2. It was McTominay and Højlund up top in the 2, and 2 banks of 4. And this is the most pronounced, and we were deep too. This is the most pronounced formation from an average position perspective I have seen this season. Speaking to how the manager saw the situation, looked at the roster and said, we're shutting down shop. And look, he's a young manager too. He's learning on the job.
Yes.
Hey, maybe I should shut down shop more often
Jesus Christ.
and in key spots. And if he did this more often, we might not have lost 7-0 last season. You can think some big spots. So Clearly, Eric Ten Hag is learning, and that's a good thing for this team. Sir, you want me to play the Roy Keane fuming clip about Van Dijk? Let's go.
It's good listen. It's good content for the
I mean, we've gone from Wout Weghorst touching the "This is Anfield" sign to now full angry Roy Keane. Let's go.
Speaking there, obviously a lot of arrogance coming out of him, dishing United like that. He needs he needs a reminder himself. He's playing for clubs who won one title in 30-odd years. He's saying only one team wanted to win. Man United buzzing with the point. Man United are in a difficult place, like Liverpool have been in a difficult place for many a year. So maybe that bit of arrogance backfired on him today.
I don't know if it was arrogance personally.
That's arrogance. That's arrogance.
I just think
he said Man United were buzzing. Only one team came to play. Yeah. Listen, I've come to many times here when I was at United, when Liverpool in a tough place, and they were happy with a draw. Yeah, United will take them up. But
I think
to dish them like that, saying, "Oh, they're buzzing. Only one team wanted to win." United had 1 or 2 chances. United are up against it. And sometimes players need a reminder when they're playing for clubs like Liverpool, and everyone's saying Man United are this and that. Yeah, United are in a bad place, but for many a year, Man United were in a good place. And you wouldn't be disrespecting clubs like he is.
I think he's not disrespecting a club. I think he's...
Yeah, I don't think he's disrespecting United by literally disrespecting United.
what are you talking
Daniel
about, bro?
Sturridge,
Yeah.
why are you even talking
I have
about
no
Liverpool? He's like a failed Liverpool player. Did nothing, won nothing. You know, now he's going to back Van Dijk for no reason. Look, it's getting back to this game is personal. It's like, yeah, this hurts the Scouse Bastards. That makes us happy. That's what we want. Roy Keane letting him have it. Van Dijk saying what he said. It's like, oh, you want us to come here and play in a certain style to make it easier for you to win? Like, give me a break. Anytime someone talks like that, they're just being a moron.
And this is kind of the Scousers of the last decade, man. You know, it's like City's been the dominant team. Scousers have been next best, but they have the arrogance of a team that has won the treble, like, and has won 4 in a row. Like, they're so arrogant. They think they're such a great team, and they have been great. Let's be honest, but they've been second best to a Manchester
Great?
City
I
side.
wouldn't say.
I'm not saying this season. I'm
great.
saying like over the last 5-6 years, they've been.
No way. I would say that they have underachieved. They literally
probably have.
They have
Get
they went
him.
to
Hit him,
4.
bro. Get him.
I mean, you want to talk about like they got eclipsed by
They should have won
City.
2 more. They probably should have won 2 more titles.
leagues.
Probably another Champions League.
They should have won 2. They should have won 2 leagues, and they went to the 4 finals, and they blew it. They blew it in the Champions League final. They blew the EPL title. City clipped them, and then they went on to win the treble. No one's talking about the
They're
Scouse
so
Bastards.
unlikable.
No
They're
way.
so unlikable. Van Dijk is such like an
They
asshole.
do so.
So
but
is Klopp.
That's Klopp. Klopp did amazing things with Dortmund. Underachieved there too. Lots of whinging.
He did. He should have won the final.
Look, they played great. Look, I wish our team played like they did today. I got compliments to that coach and what he can get his players to do. But when it comes to underachieving and whining about it, you'll find no greater team than the Scouse Bastards, sir.
Amen.
And let's leave it
Amen.
at
Well
that.
said, sir. Well said.
Next match,
Let's go, baby.
West Ham, the Hammers versus Manchester United. Blowing bubbles at the London Stadium, Saturday, December 3rd, 4:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Sir, just when we thought it was getting easy, got to get up early. Lifetime versus West Ham. We've won 73, drawn 32, lost 47. First time we ever played them, 1911. In the FA Cup, we lost 2-1. Last 5, we've won 3, lost 2 with our last meeting in May. David Moyes did pip us in that fixture 1-0, sir. That was with Declan Rice. Obviously, he's at Arsenal now. Last 5 for West Ham. Drew Crystal Palace 1-1. Beat Tottenham 2-1. Fulham did them dirty. Cooked them 5-0. They're in the Europa League group stage, sir. They beat SC Friedberg 2-0. They beat the Wolves 3-0. That's not bad, sir. 1-3 drawn, 1 game in their last 5. Playing the 4-2-3-1. They're going to be frisky. Ward-Prowse, a player. Sir, I mean, I think we should have been looking at him. He'd probably be better than some players in our team.
Kudos is playing very well. I don't know how we didn't get him. He was like from the Dutch. He was from the Dutch league. We signed the wrong Dutch guys because he's been crushing it.
Suchek, Fabianski,
Zuma, cat thrower. I mean, they're good. Paqueta was going to go to City. Bowen's been killing it. He's been scoring goal after goal. They are a dangerous side. They're right behind us in the league.
And it's away, and we're horrible away.
We are horrible away.
Maybe we'll pack it in at the London Stadium.
Maybe we should.
Looking at the physio room, Malacia, Magoo, Casemiro, Martinez, Eriksson, Bruno should be back. Tony Marshall is sick. Delo is out. Given those are the injuries and suspensions, what is your starting 11?
Oh, not in net. AWB, Varane, Maguire, Shaw. Let's go. That should be the starting back four until Martinez arrives. Kobe, Hannibal, Bruno. That's it. Stop this McSauce nonsense.
You're getting McTominay, bro.
I know we are, but we shouldn't, and we will. But
Got the armband today.
Yeah, well, I have no problem with that.
I'll tell you, we didn't talk about that. We should,
You're making that
because
just be such a big. I don't know. Why do you think that's such a big deal, sir?
it's such a big deal because Luke Shaw, I think, had to wear it, right? And for him to give it to McTominay, it says there's something between the manager and McTominay. He's like anointed as Eric Ten Hag's boy, and he ain't getting dropped. That's the only thing I'm saying is like this has gotten like this whole love for McTominay is metastasized into undroppable starter at Manchester United, which is bizarre. Like you have to say that like we probably would be better if he wasn't at 10, right? You know, like we are playing him with 2 10s. He's objectively, the stats say he's like one of the worst forward passers of the ball, and you're playing.
You saw it today.
He should play 9.
You saw that today.
He'd be better off playing 9
or a false 9, or like playing right behind Hoyland.
Yes, exactly.
I have less of a problem.
Not in the midfield.
I agree. He should not be playing week in, week out. Like, you know, just because he might score a goal, because otherwise he's not great. In the box, he's very good. He's a good finisher. He's got a good touch. But today I don't care about like him versus Varane or versus Shaw, whatever, the captaincy. But like he should not be your default starter week in, week out. I mean, part of it's injuries.
You don't think the armband is
no
suggesting
Ericsson, no Casemiro?
You don't think the armband suggests he's going to be like around?
I'm telling you, I don't think it should. I don't care about the captaincy because it was like Bruno was out. I care. He shouldn't be starting every week.
No, it means the manager
part of it's
really
been injuries.
Keen on him.
I've seen that, but we've been like under the cosh. His head's been on the chopping block.
All
Some
right.
of these players don't want to run
and
for him.
You don't think he's going to start then?
No, I think he is going to start, but I wouldn't start him. Like he needs to start getting dropped. That's all I'm saying. But like, sir, a lot of this is the 11 I want to see, not the 11 they're going to choose. Show us the 11, bro. What is the 11 he's going to choose?
The 11 he's going to choose, you're going to get Onana, AWB, you're going to get Varane, Magoo, Shaw, you're going to get Kobe Mainoo, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Hoyland, and Antony. That's what you're going to see against West Ham. Maybe even Evans. You could even say Johnny Evans might deserve a shot.
Magoo was made for a West Ham game.
Here comes the money, 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 money.
What do we got from an odds perspective, sir?
Actually, West Ham are the favorites. Plus 145 at home, plus 260 for the draw, and United plus 170 away. Sir, given the odds, what is your score prediction?
I called the draw. I want to say I said 1-1. Called the draw. No one called the draw other than me.
Keep patting yourself on
at
the back.
Anfield.
Nobody. There's only 2 of us.
No, I'm just saying, like, I saw a lot of people. There was no account that said we're going to outperform and we're going to get a point away. Nobody said that. I said it.
Okay.
You could take this
very,
to the
very,
bank.
Very good, sir.
Take this to the bank, sir.
We're gonna lose.
West Ham 2-0. United get done away, back to the old ways of being open and getting beat by a hard-working, well-drilled West Ham side under David Moyes. I wish it wasn't the case, but, you know, I feel like unless we set up like we did at Anfield, I don't think we will, and that will lead to them scoring.
Yeah, I could definitely see us lose, but the Muppet in me is going to say 1-0 United. We scrap it out. Penalty. Bruno. Let's go, boys. 3 points.
United in the news. How dare you put this in here?
It's news, bro. This is news.
We got a manager. Now there's
They were licking
people
their lips.
talking Graham Potter to United. This has to be like the press just need money at this point. This doesn't make any sense.
Of course they do.
Okay, Graham Potter to be high on United's short list if Sir Jim Ratcliffe chooses to sack Eric Ten Hag. If Graham Potter has been out of work since his sacking
Out of work,
by
baby.
Chelsea
Out of work.
and is admired by Ratcliffe and Brailsford. Eric Ten Hag's under pressure. And if he goes, he could be at the top of the list. This, to me, there is no bigger red flag of Ratcliffe than
correct.
this. This is horrible. Like, this is the worst thing you could ever imagine in 2 ways. Chelsea, big club,
Meltdown.
tons of signings, had to deal, like, again, you go from Brighton, everyone's hardworking, nobody knows who they are. You go to big players, big money, can't deal. That's the same thing for Erik ten Hag. My criticism of Erik ten Hag, Ajax, kind of like, there's more shine, but primarily young players hungry coming up in the game. Erik ten Hag, and you don't have to deal with the motivation or the money or any of the drama you got at United. He can do well. Making the transition to like the Mourinhos, the Ancelottis, the Zidans of the world, managing the top paid all-star team, that's a big step. Not everyone's meant for that at the end of the day, and Graham Potter ain't. And I don't think ultimately Erik ten Hag is either, and that's not an issue because there's only a handful of teams that are like that. He failed at Chelsea. He's not going to succeed at United. Clearly, there is no reason to go with this guy. And oh, by the way, how is Brighton going since he left? They're doing great. Where do you get the edge? Where's the edge from Graham Potter? There is none. He's not good. See ya.
Now, this has got a lot of layers in it. Part of the argument I've had is like, even if Erik ten Hag ain't the guy, you let him route the season and then you replace him in the summer. Because right now, the only people around are Graham Potters. Graham Potter is a terrible coach. Objectively awful coach. He's bad. He's a bad coach. And just look, even at Brighton, bro, he had a 31% win rate. So, and then Chelsea, like you said, Chelsea is no United, but they're a bigger club, certainly bigger than Brighton. And he melted down there, couldn't manage the personality, was a terrible coach. And if the Ratcliffe prefers his English boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble for
what makes sense. An Englishman would want an Englishman.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You should also be like, let's look at the data.
No, we're in trouble. I agree.
If
this is
what
red
he
flag.
wants, we're fucked, bro. Because
This
everyone,
is a red
I know
flag.
a lot of people don't like Erik ten Hag. I get that. He's made a lot of mistakes. I respect that. But at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag is a much better manager.
Who's next is
than
the
Graham
question.
Potter.
Who's next? So like,
You wait until the summer.
I like
the summer.
Like when you say, okay, I agree. Erik ten Hag deserves the rest of the season, 100%. Deserves to earn his bread, deliver that on the table to United, short of just like a mega meltdown, lose everybody, getting kicked in the teeth every week, like which is not happening. Which is not
yet.
If it was 8-0 away at Anfield and it's 5-0 at West Ham and we're just losing it, yeah, someone's gonna get their job get fired. That's not the case. Great result. You got to keep fighting with Erik ten Hag. You have to do it. That has to be the thing. But when you think about who could come in to United, it's like an Ancelotti. That's the guy. That's the only name I could think where I could see, okay, big club.
Right now or when? In the summer?
Like next year. Like for the future of the project. If you think of like who we need at United, it'd be like somebody who's done it everywhere. Impeachable resume, dealt with the big names, dealt with the big stars, knows that whole thing inside and out. You could take someone like that to the bank, right? Graham Potter's mashed potatoes. You can't take him to the. You understand? I could see getting a guy who's done it in Italy at the big clubs, in Spain at the big clubs, come in. But I can't see like a Graham Potter. Is this another? This is just like insanity from Ineos. I hope it's a rumor. I hope it's wrong.
Yeah, I hope it's just Asian talk. I mean, just to counter your Ancelotti argument, he doesn't want to come to Manchester United, bro. He's the coach of fucking Real Madrid.
It's not about getting him here. It's like, who would you need? What type of character would you need? You need a Zidane.
You need that character, but even then, he's like in his 70s. We don't need another like 2 to 3. We need another project, bro. We need an Erik ten Hag elsewhere. A guy who's on the up, who's done well, but it's going to be very hard. There's no peps.
Yeah, but
There's no Klopp
who's
available.
on the up? Who does well?
I don't know. You got a scouting department that knows that they go look at
Pochettino was on the up. He's not on the up.
He was never
Graham
on the up.
Potter was on the
Pochettino
up. He's
another
not on the
overrated
up.
manager.
He made his Champions League final.
You find the Erik ten Hag equivalent in Spain, in Italy, in Germany. You just find the next
these
guy
young
up.
guys on the young guys on the up are like rolling these dice. I think we need like
That's
need
a win
someone.
now. That's a win now approach.
You need someone who can deal with the big names and the big stars and the big money and can get this ship right in the right direction. Right now, we need somebody who's done it before. I bet everything on someone who's done it before. I bet who runs the club, who's a CEO of United, someone who's done it at another club, who's been a director of football, who has done it at another club, and I want a CV of a top European side and a manager who knows what to do, who's stable.
I don't think that coach exists. That's available.
I think Ancelotti is pretty.
He's not available. He's going to go to Brazil, bro. That's the rumor. He's going to go coach the Brazil national team and win a World Cup.
I'm not saying I want him. I'm saying you need somebody like him, right? And that's you need proven experience over the long term. That's what we need. That's what we need right now. It's like we need that. We're dying for that.
Speaking of that, what about this guy? Talk about your boy.
Donny Van de Beek's getting a loan. Like, he still plays here? Apparently he does. We're paying him a lot. He's going to Eintracht Frankfurt on loan. We're going to pay some of his wages, make it real easy on them to try to buy him
And they
for
still won't
a
take him.
steep
15 million euros, bro. That's it.
25 to 30 million pound discount. We're going to lose that. Ka-ching.
What's your
It's
thoughts
lost.
on this, sir? I put this on the
No,
Discord.
Anthony's the worst transfer ever.
No, let me make the argument. So Anthony costs twice as much as Donny. But
Yes.
Anthony's done twice as much, more than twice as. Donny's never affected a game one time.
He broke
He's-
his leg.
Who gives a shit? I don't care if he broke his leg. Like, he's never had a big game. He's never scored a big goal. Anthony's
He
been awful.
scored. He scored.
He scored his first game against Palace, and it
Anthony's
was a garbage goal.
worse by far. 100%
Dollar for
worse.
dollar, Donny Van de Beek's a worst transfer, bro. He like never has had any impact in any Manchester United games once. He can't get into the side under 3 managers, even the Dutch manager. He's my worst transfer of all time.
We spend 40 million, waste 40 million like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
know,
like
I know.
to say it's the worst transfer when we do that all day, like the 40 millions just go and cut, like whatever. They're just gone. And like that's easy, but to pay 85 million for a winger and have him do nothing, right? I think it has to, it's expectations.
Donny's done less.
I think there was just basically like when you bought Donny, it was like, yeah, he's from Ajax, unproven. He's going to be like a 10 who can get in the box, kind of do this thing. But no one was like, he's going to get goals for United. When you pay a certain price, it is like you need X for that price. 45 is not that. 85 is that. And that's the difference, I think. When you pay 85, it is you are starting today, you are scoring 15 goals in the league. It's like Jadon Sancho. Why wouldn't Jadon Sancho be worse? And like Jadon Sancho and to me, Anthony,
We got a long list.
Jadon Sancho and Anthony much worse than Donny because you could Donny's can happen all day. You don't even notice.
I think about the relative
It's
cost.
like-
The relative like he's twice as much, but I think he's had twice the impact. But this is all we're literally measuring like who shit their pants more. It's like who's got a bigger diaper full of
I don't know. I
duty.
think you just want to kick Donny.
I don't. I have nothing against
Like-
the guy.
To say he's the worst transfer ever, I think is like that. I don't
He's up there.
up there, but Sancho and Anthony are higher on the list by far from my perspective. Like I would argue Paul Pogba is probably one
He's
of the
up
worst.
there. Yeah, he is.
And
for sure.
because like you also have to think like Paul Pogba, the money, everything, what you thought he was going to do,
The flirting,
did
bro. The
nothing,
flirting
and then
on
also
international break.
dragging us
Oh my
down.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way he dragged us through the mud, playing basketball when he was injured, just like the humiliation of the team.
Yeah.
Like that is like to me that's even worse. Like Donny has kind of been a professional. He's kind of just not played, mind his own business, went on loan a few times. Like I've seen much worse players.
You're right. It's probably Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho's probably the worst transfer ever because he can't even bother to show up to practice, bro.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's so many that's why we're horrible.
Yes. Yes. You think City have a hard time figuring out their worst transfer? Like, oh, it could be this guy, it could be that guy, it could be that guy, it could be that guy.
All right, Excuse Factory working overtime. Amazon Prime excuses. Sir, give us your excuse factory for why it's not Rasmus Højlund's fault for not scoring in the league.
He's got the least amount of service. Look at the data. Where's that quote, sir? The data came out this week. He's getting the least number of ball receptions in the box of any striker in the league at the very bottom. You know who's right ahead of him? Tony Martial. That tells you something. And Son is at the very top of the list. But you know what? You can tell. Højlund, it's multifaceted error. We overpaid for him. We put too much pressure on a kid that's 20 years old, doesn't have a huge record. And we didn't buy anyone else to back him up. So Martial's garbage. He shouldn't even be here. And it's all on Højlund. We've seen in the Champions League, he could score goals. And I guarantee he could score goals if he got some service. But, dude, he doesn't get nearly enough service. And you know what? Shame on United. Shame on United for not giving him the service he requires. And at the same time, you can't bank on a 20-year-old to be your only guy unless his name's Erling Haaland.
Like Erling Haaland has received less than 200 passes. Højlund's like less than 150. But if you look at an Isak as well, also Richarlison is in the Højlund range. They're still scoring. Those guys are actually like Erling Haaland doesn't get the ball a lot. He still is effective. Rasmus Højlund, I said it when we bought him. You looked at the numbers. They were not there. I mean, like, yes, exciting, young Danish guy. He's got the build, everything we've seen. He's not getting service, but even though he should be more effective than he is. You saw it today. Bullied up at Anfield. Bad touch. Good shot. Really good shot, but it's you can't keep blaming other people because he should be getting 1, 2, 3 goals here or there ultimately, and I don't think it's
He's playing with some selfish wingers, bro. To be fair, Anthony and Garnacho and even Rashford, like they don't give him the ball. They all try to shoot. They all try to think. If they squared some balls, they'd have a lot of assists because he would score.
Yeah, there's a handful of cases, yes. But I'm going to say if you're going to pay 70 million euros for a very unproven Danish kid, and if you looked at the numbers when we bought him, we did. I said, this is insane. We did it. And at the end of the day, like, if you think he's going to show up, that the odds would be against you that he would just like all of a sudden hit the ground running in the EPL and then do amazing, which he's obviously not doing. And he's probably trying to figure out a tough European league, and he's young, and hopefully he does, give him more minutes. Because this time you're developing the talent. That's why I think Palestri should get more minutes. He should get more of a shout. Bayendier should be getting more minutes. We should be getting people in and figuring out who are the real dogs in this team. I'd like to see McTominay at false 9. You think he's the bee's knees, Eric Ten Hag? Get him out there, have him score goals in the box. I don't care. At the end of the day, like, we should be trying things out, getting these players some minutes. Like Højlund, I think the jury's always been out on him. The jury was out on him before we signed him, honestly, as far as I was concerned. And to say that he is not living up to expectations, I don't know. I just don't know what they are because he's so young and so unproven.
Well, this is another one of those cases. Same with Anthony. Same with same with Harry Maguire. It's like when you overpay for a player, you put an unlofty expectation on their head because like all of a sudden he's a $70 million player instead of a $35-40 million player who's a project. So
strikers need to score goals.
Yes, they do, and he will score goals.
That's it.
I believe in the project. Has he underperformed in certain aspects? Maybe, but like he will come good. I think.
What's the project? We're a mess. That's like I think like Anthony's a bad player. Is not going to pass it to him. So we're not playing into this striking project. People are selfish shooting outside the box. Like Garnacho doesn't want to pass. He wants to score. There is no project. It's just a bunch of individuals like clamoring around a football pitch wearing a United jersey at the end of the day. And that's why he's having such a hard time, right?
We're not playing like a unit, man. We're not playing cohesively. We don't play like an 11. They should be passing to him because if they provide an assist, then people will start to focus more on Højlund. Then they'll have opportunities. It's like it works that way. It's like if you find your guy and he scores, then they'll start teaming up on him, and all of a sudden you have opportunities. It's like, but instead
his hold up is not
shots.
that great. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I would say that has definitely let me down is this hold up play, which needs to be sharp. You do need to have that in the league. And who actually is not bad at it? I hate to say it. Tony Martial does not have bad hold up play. He can't get in behind like Højlund. He can't run like Højlund. But the one thing I would say about his game that I've been disappointed in is the hold-up play because you need that to alleviate pressure, get the wingers involved on the break. But if you just had the ball and this guy was running in behind and you were passing to him, he would score goals. He would.
And he will.
All right, sir, let's get into fan questions. At MUFC_sad, quote, this is definitely a good point for Manchester United and Ten Hag. Losing at Anfield by 2 or more goals would have only put more pressure on the manager. For me, it's a win for sure. Hope we can find some goals in the front line. That's exactly what we're debating about right now. We need goals.
And we've needed all season. We've been leaky at the back, but the real problem is we have not scored any goals. This team can't score, hasn't scored. Rashford was our whole goal scoring operation last season. He's completely fallen off. And the guy you had come in to be your new number 9 can't score in the league either. It's like we're dying for goals, which is why McSauce keeps playing because he has scored. He's our top scorer in the league.
At Hitman RC89, sirs, we held the line and escaped with a point. We really need to get a top striker to get the goals. We need to win to close games. Agree or disagree?
We need another striker. We need someone to take the pressure off of Højlund. We need someone who can come in, 27, 28-year-old. God damn, you know who I'd love is Ivan Toney, bro. Wouldn't you love Toney right now on this team?
Too much money.
Yeah, he'd be $100 million.
More, I think it's 150.
150 than buy Osimhen. Osimhen's got 130 million euro.
I think it was up there. It was. I think Arsenal are.
Let's go after Osimhen.
Like, why would he go?
We need another striker. Either way, Højlund ain't gonna be. Yes. He ain't gonna be everything. So either way, I know
Osimhen would be better than Højlund. Yes.
Okay, Osimhen would be better than Ivan Toney. Osimhen's one of the top. He's the top 3-4 strikers in the world, bro. He's a top tier number 9, and we could use someone else to take the pressure off of Højlund. We're not getting Osimhen. and we're not getting anyone of that caliber in January. But we need somebody to come in that can score some goals, even if it's not glamorous, as long as it's not Wout Weghorst. For the love of Christ, please don't bring that guy back.
Hey, I'm glad we don't have Gapko or Nunez after what I saw today. So, I think Hoyland, diamond in the rough.
He is.
With good coaching, should come good over time. Jack Bourne, 86. Sirs, that was landfall, downgraded to tropical storm, no fatalities. And I think that's probably the end of the storm watch for a few months. Credit to Ten Hag and the boys for showing up today and silencing the shitbox. I don't know. I think, Jack, we need you on our storm forecast out there.
I think it turned this week, bro. We get beat up by West Ham. Are you kidding me?
3-0 to Bournemouth. And Luton hitting them with the goal, just seeing that Bournemouth isn't that good, and they were able to just dominate us. It's just we aren't consistent. We have these horrible performances in our locker. We have these draws, like a great result away. I mean, the results, in my opinion, have gone our way like so hard this season in the league. Like for how we've played,
They
it's
have?
incredible.
You think they have?
I think so.
With the Arsenal game with the offsides and the blatant
No,
penalty.
I'm saying the results, like the wins versus losses, based on how we performed on the pitch, I think have been kind to us this season, and they have not caught up to us.
I think it's
which
cut
is
both
good.
ways. Personally, I think it's cut both ways. Like I think we were hard done. Arsenal
Like
and
Wolves,
Spurs.
Nottingham Forest. I mean,
No, it's like I said.
those are
like there are like we
winning
were
games
we were an inch and a legit VAR call from beating Arsenal with a Garnacho winner. Not to mention the fucking Hoyland penalty, like handball at Spurs in the first half, and then they turned it in the second half. Like it's gone both ways for sure. But at the same time, like you said, Wolves we got away with one. Forest we got away with one. There's probably
Excuse
another
Factory's never taken any breaks. At Moneyline Jesus, I think we were lucky not to get that handball called against us, but we'll take a point at Anfield. That red card was absolutely brutal. Varane was a monster today. Cannot be on the bench. I agree. Cannot be on the bench. Monster performance, sir. The only time he's on the bench, he disagrees with the Dutchman or something like that, I guess.
I don't know, bro. What do you want from me? Yes, he should start. He was great today. Terrific. He was our best player on the pitch.
And Johnny Evans next to him.
Johnny Evans did great.
Right?
Shout out to
Like,
Johnny Evans. We saw him in Abu Dhabi, bro. You're the man, Johnny. We love you.
No, but like Varane and Evans isn't bad. Like Varane is that good.
Varane was terrific. This is one of the
No,
best
I know.
games he played for Manchester United.
That's what we need.
But let's not act like he's not injured every other game, too. Come on. Let's not be revisionist.
I think he was not playing because he had a row with the manager. I think that was the
that rose happened, bro.
rows happened.
A lot with this manager, apparently.
Yeah, sorry. Don't piss in the punch bowl, apparently. At Love the Bulls 18, was Liverpool bad or was United good? I can't tell, but I'm happy to come away with a point. What do you say about that? That's a very interesting one.
Yes. That's what I say, Junior. We were okay. Like I said, I thought I thought everybody behind Kobe played well, including Kobe. I thought the front played really poorly, defended okay at times. Liverpool, I just think that's Liverpool. Like I think they think they're hot shit. They've gotten away. They have gotten away with it. You said it when we walked into today to your house. The Scousers have gotten away with some results. I think the fact that they were top of the table heading into the weekend was flattered Liverpool. But United, I think if United actually played the way they could have, and we made some different subs a little bit earlier, I think we could have won today.
If we play well, we win.
Even with the XG being like, they could have had a lot more XG, and we still could have won because this game was set up for a smash and grab all day, and we just needed a couple more of those chances, right? The Garnacho, the Hoyland, we needed twice as many, and I think we would have won. But you know what? I'll take a point.
I'm going to say Liverpool was bad. If we were good, I think we would have won. I really do. And that would be like a good United performance. We like with Rashford at his best. I think you can hit him on a smash and grab easy. They were there for the taking today. We were open getting. I agree with Ten Hag. We had better chances. And I think if we had a little better quality out there, they were not in it. At MA 13, I for one am happy with the draw. We were outplayed for every minute of the 90. This team's current level is nabbing a sneaky point against superior size. Those arguing otherwise are stuck in the past. I think it's an interesting point. I think we're more happy that the Scouse bastards are hurting. I think there's definitely some ambiguity from fans on how he played, but everyone can agree putting one on Liverpool away is amazing. We're going to end with this one here, a positive take from Mike United Mets. A good point. Ten Hag showed some adaptability given the squad he had available for the match, and everyone buying into the plan shows the team still wants to fight for him. I know you, sirs, usually unwrap the table in 8 days, but I recommend taking it off the wish list this year. Look, that's a good point. I think the biggest theme is the manager made the change.
And if he
Great
did, we would
result.
have got smoked. If we had gone and tried to play toe to toe like we did last year when we got murdered, we would have gotten blown out 3-4-0 easy. But the fact that we sat back, absorbed pressure, defended quite well. Varane had a masterclass. Onana played okay. Dude, we earned a point, you know? And credit to the manager because he's gotten a lot wrong. And he got some wrong today. But that was astute, and that was the difference. We would have not have gotten a point if we did not pack it in. And you know what? You got to pack it in sometimes.
No, I'm glad that was the move. It was 100% the move. He did it, and I think he's going to learn because he's like, oh, wow, you get to draw away in a hostile environment. People treat that like a win.
Yep.
Like, okay, I get it now. There's no easy match in England, and you're better off not getting just trounced. Like he's like, after you lose 7-0, he's like, wow, people really care about that.
Yeah, the scoreline's important, huh?
Yeah, I think he learned. And whenever the manager changes it, it usually works. Whenever he's stubborn, then he makes a change. We've seen it work in the past. Could this be the beginning of more changes from the manager, trying new things, and hopefully kicking on? Because you pointed out, if we can survive December, get to January, we don't have a lot of games, and get healthy, you could get some momentum, and that's what we've been dying for. And this is look at this team, the injuries.
Insane.
You have to say it, that
Insane.
the team that was out there today, to tie Liverpool away, it's like Liverpool, they were bad. Like, you look at that 11. Amrabat, like, are you kidding me? They should be cooking that, man.
Sauce as our 10. No Bruno, no Casemiro, no Eriksson, no Mount, no Martinez.
Oh, my God. Well, that is it. That is the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? We can enjoy this one. We get a week off, sir. Then it's on to the Hammers before we have to sweat another 90.
Unai. Get ready for some Unai Emery, bro. He's coming. He's coming. Boxing Day. Let's go.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, sir. I'll tell you. You want to support the pod? Patreon.com/America Red Devils, AmericaDevils.store, AmericaDevils.com. Reviews, like, subscribe, do all those things. We do it for the love of the game. So anything you could do helps this small-time operation. Sir, you want to give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days?
Absolutely. Here we go. Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Dublin, Ireland. New York, Brooklyn, New York, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Austin, Texas, San Francisco, California, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, and last but not least, Oslo, Norway. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. Always darkest from the dawn. Holidays coming. Big match against the Hammers on the weekend. We're going to be with you every step of the way.
Sir, build a bonfire.